Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to showcase the best builds for Pro-Am at each position in NBA 2K22 Next Gen. So, we're going to start off with the point guard at the 5'9" spot. At the 2, I have a 6'5" that can work as a lockdown and the hash spot. I think a lot of Pro-Am teams, what they typically do is, they have the point guard, then they have a 6'3" or something like that can play the hash and is a secondary ball handler, but isn't exactly a lockdown for them. And I really don't understand that concept when you could just make a build like this that could play the hash and the lockdown. And then the versatility that you have because of making that on-ball lockdown as a 6'5" that can still play the hash, you have all the versatility and comfortability in the world to have your 2 corner spot ups be kind of 2 power forwards to an extent. And a lot of the comp Pro-Am people hate on lineups like this because it's quote-unquote invalid. It's not what everybody runs, but to me, this is by far the best lineup you can run. 269 glitched out metric builds. We've already talked about this on the channel like 4 videos in a row. Feel free to check out the video that I did explaining how to create this. It's the 6'9" build that will break NBA 2K22 Next Gen. So anyway, we have 2 of those at the 3 and the 4 spot. It's glitchy. It has 90 steal rating at 6'9". You play ridiculous defense out the corners with it. In terms of hedge defense, is really good too. And then at the 5 spot, we have the 7'3", 237 on the weight for the max rebounding at 99 for the Hall of Fame rebound chaser. And then all types of crazy stuff with the blocks. Now with the guard spot in the center is where things get a little bit complicated. Your guard has to complement the center and the center has to complement the guard. If you ask me, I don't think it's useful to have a pick and pop center if you have a true outside point guard like this one right here. So if you do have a guard that's a little bit more balanced and you want something that has more finishing, making an outside center at 7'2" makes a whole lot of sense to me. I made this build right here. I will showcase this in the video as well, where it has the Hall of Fame sniper. It still has the ability to have Hall of Fame rebound chaser, and it still gets the silver interceptor that you definitely want, all those 3 things. So again, we will talk about all that stuff in today's video. I hope you all enjoy, and if you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. All right, so first and foremost, we're talking about the point guard. We're going to go to the shooting guard, small forward, and power forward at the same time, obviously, and then we'll go to the center after that. Again, I do want to just mention, though, you are going to want to make this guard build supporting whatever your big man is, or if you can set up your big man with whatever you can create as a guard, then more power to you. But either way, I will say this is 100% the best guard in the game if you ask me, as long as you pair it with an inside big man. If you have an outside big, I'm not going to lie to you, I feel like it's a waste. I really don't think the pops are that efficient or that needed when you have a guard like this, because it can just absolutely dominate in terms of the horizontal movement. And again, for fast breaks, it's crazy too. 98 speed, 98 acceleration. You still have 98 steal rating for passing lanes out the corners, or if you want to play wing defense with this where you can guard the hash guy and ideally not switch, but if they do force you to switch with wraps and stuff like that, then boom, you're all good. You can still hang with that 86 perimeter defense for the gold clamps and gold ankle braces, gold menace, all types of stuff like that. 98 steal rating, absolutely crazy with the passing lanes and the on-ball steals. Makes pickpocket and interceptor cheaper to the 5 instead of 6 as well. With the ball handle, 99. We all know why. Hall of Fame unpluckable, all types of stuff like that. 99 three-pointer. Again, I mean, the list goes on and on. Blinders, Deadeye, everything. I mean, Hall of Fame hot zone hunter, sniper. I mean, these things aren't that hard to achieve with the hot zone hunter and the sniper, but either way, the blinders on Hall of Fame is definitely a thing as well. Mismatch expert and Deadeye. The list goes on and on. And then just to add to that too, just to have 99 three-pointer is super glitchy. So in this situation, you can see we have 38, 37, and 23 for the badge count, 2 on the finishing, and we have literally nothing but close shots. So this is where I want to encourage you guys, where in the park terms, when it comes to these 5'9s, I do think 40 driving dunk is worth. I think the fact that you can just dunk when wide open is pretty convenient. But for the sake of Pro-Am, I'm going to be real with you guys. It is not very often that it's ever going to be worth it for your tiny, tiny self to ever enter that paint where there are just some dogs. There are some absolute beasts, some crazy tall, really good block builds that you're not going to stand a chance going for a dunk on. I mean, those dudes are crashing off the corner. They are going to send your stuff to the 5th row if you try and go for that dunk with like even 40. If you have 65, it's doable. I understand. If you have 75, that's when you're really good. You're going to have the quick drops off 1 with the silver limitless takeoff, and then boom, just like that. That's when you're going to be a little bit more efficient with it. And that's also, like I said, when you would want to pair yourself with an outside big man. So if you are making this build or want to support it with whatever big man you want to do, just stay tuned for the 7'2" outside big man. It's 100% what you would be wanting to look into. I don't have a real driving guard build for you guys though. It's really hard to set one of those up if you ask me. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to just keep this video a little bit condensed and not make it way too long. So this right here is what I'm just demonstrating for the guard build, straight up, just simpler like that. Real quick for the takeover options on this build, you can see we have shot, sharp, play, and lock. The lock take is a little bit of an interesting concept to this, but I don't think it's ever gonna be worth you running in terms of Pro-Am when you have this guard build, because again, it's gonna be very likely that you run with someone who's gonna be playing as an actual lockdown, aka the 6'5" that I'm about to show in a couple minutes right here. But as you can see, I have limitless and team badge boost on right here for the 2 takeovers. If you wanted to run team takeover boost or team rating boost, it is what it is, or just double down and run 2 sharp takes, perfectly fine. Or if you even want to run a shot take, I'm not going to sit here and say it's comp in Pro-Am, but there are a couple times you could send that corner on a cut and then boom, run to that corner, and then just like that you could fade to that corner as well. So either way, it's whatever your preference is, to be honest with you. All right, so next up, you can see we have the lockdown build right here that can still function as a secondary ball handler. 6'5", 179 on the weight, 6'8" wingspan. It's going to allow us to still get 93 pointer. You still have 90 steal rating and 95 perimeter defense for the Hall of Fame Menace and Clamps. Again, I don't really think though that Menace is worth having on Hall of Fame, but either way, it's perfectly fine. I wouldn't concern yourself too much with having only 90 steal rating, even as a lockdown spot. I don't think this is that big of a concern. However, you are going to want to pump in as many extra defensive badges as you possibly can, whether that be college if you haven't done a rebirth build yet, or if you have the ability to get into that rebirth situation. I 100% recommend to add as many extra defensive badges onto this build as you can, because it achieves all the ratings that you would want. 95 perimeter is perfectly fine, 90 steal is perfectly fine, 65 block gives you the bronze chase down artist and rim protector, but unfortunately it's only 21 defensive badge points, so it's not exactly what you would want. But I don't think it's worth it for you to put into your defense or rebound on this build at 6'5", because it's by far not going to be your role at all, is to ever get down there for the rebounds or to be down low trying to interior contest on standing layups or anything like that. With this build though, we have crazy speed, 93 with 91 acceleration, 99 stamina, 84 vertical, which is still good for the jump contest that you want to get, where if people beat you to the wing, you can easily get that jump contest and actually still hang with them. Whereas if you don't have any vertical, you're going to struggle to get those jump contests, no matter what your height is or anything like that, your wingspan, your length at all. If people beat you really bad, you need to be able to recover and actually jump to contest those things, and to have vertical on a true lockdown build is very ideal. That's why we bailed in the first place from Kitchen's 5'7" guarding ball. I know it sounds crazy in retrospect to even talk about, but we did originally have Kitchen guarding ball on a 5'7" with no vertical, and you really just can't recover off that. You have to play true team defense to double team guards, and at that point it's very predictable when they have to rotate, and you know they can easily dot you in the corners or wing wherever you had to rotate from, so it just makes no sense to do so. 93 pointer, 84 mid-range is what we have. With this, we have 30 shooting badges and 29 playmaking, 21 defense, and only 1 finishing. And you can see we do have the 40 driving dunk for this. I would like to have this because you're going to be that guy who's going to be out on the fast break a lot with this one right here. So it makes sense to at least have some driving dunk on this. If you wanted to take away from a couple different attributes and put it into driving dunk for like 65, it is what it is, but it's very hard to do so. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and take the mid-range down as far as possible, and you can see going from 84 to 75, it still only gives us literally 8 driving dunk. I mean, that's so useless and horrible if you ask me, and it's so hard to actually try and get that 65 driving dunk. So for me, and me personally, I just don't think it's even worth doing in the first place, and just settle for 40. You get the CJ McCollum dunk package. You can still dunk when open on the fast breaks. It's about all you will need if you ask me. With this, we have the same takeovers as the point guard, but I'm going to go ahead and apply different ones. So you can see, again, we have shot, sharp, play, and lock. I'm going to go ahead and just run double lock take on this, double extreme clamps. I will say I think extreme clamps is really nasty with the bumps that you can get with it, and just in general, playing good perimeter defense. All right, so next up, we have the 3 in the 4 spot, which is going to be a 6'9" shooting guard, glitched out with the metric. Now, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. I have the save file created right here. What you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to create a 6'3" shooting guard. I'm going to go ahead and show this very quickly because I know so many people are confused with this and how to do it. So I'm going to do it one last time, but I promise you guys, I am never ever doing this again. And if you've already watched this, you've already known how to do this. You can go ahead and skip this part. But a lot of people are sitting here saying, Laker, this is patched. It's not working anymore. I promise you, bro, it's not patched. Y'all just aren't listening to me and paying attention to how I have this set up. So anyway, real quick before I get way too ahead of myself, it's 6'3" shooting guard, 220 on the weight, 7-foot wingspan, and you need to do all this to set it up with the burly body shape. Now go ahead and just max out literally anything you want. You can go ahead and just hold the triggers down and just go ahead and move the sticks and the D-pad, whatever you want to do. Just max literally everything. It doesn't matter what you put for your ratings or the badges or the takeover or anything like that. Boom, just apply both takeovers. Simple, complete. Now, you're going to go to the edit build. You don't want to hit start career. You don't want to hit test build or anything like that. You want to hit edit build, come all the way back out once you've done so, and go all the way back to the menu. I'm going to do this with no cuts if I can attempt to do so, because I want to show you guys how straight up easy and simple this is. You're going to go to settings now. You want to change this units of measurement. You want to change it from imperial system to metric. The metric is going to allow you to do something really glitchy with this. And again, I just want to show this with no cuts because I want to show how easy and simple this is. So now that we had created that super chunky 6'3" shooting guard right there, it's going to be this one right here. It's shooting guard 1.91 on the meters, 100 kilograms. We're gonna go ahead and edit the build. You're gonna, matter of fact, let me go back just so you guys don't misunderstand this at all. You're gonna hit Y on this, or on PS5, I'm pretty sure this is triangle, right? But anyway, you're gonna hit Y, edit build. You're gonna go ahead and just say yes on the rebirth. And now this is gonna be so simple. You keep everything that you just set, for like the position, the number, all that stuff. Literally all you have to do, change your height to 2.05 meters, and then boom, just like that. We're gonna minimize the weight, max the wingspan. Just like that, you have this glitched 6'9" build. This is 6'8" 3/4. It has 90 perimeter defense and 90 steal rating, which even a 6'8" can't even get. You can't even get 90 steal rating on a 6'8". And again, this is me showing you guys this. I don't know how to prove what date it is, but all right. So now that we're in here on the metric system, I'm just going to show you guys the builds that I would create for the 3 and the 4 spot. I think this absolutely can function for both. If you, however, are on a regular Pro-Am team where you have like a 6'3" playing hash and you have maybe like a 6'7" as your true lockdown, it makes sense that you're going to only be able to run that 6'7" at the 3, and then only one of these builds can be ran for your Pro-Am team at the 4. I don't think you can sit here and have this as the main lock, so to say. So if you don't have that 6'5" build that I was showing at the 2, it's not possible, really, if you ask me to run 2 of these. Now, if you do have that 6'5", though, I think this is fire, because then at that point you can run 2 of these. You can be glitchy with it. You can play literally like double sides on this if you wanted to. You could have one in the corner, one on hedge. You could do anything you want with this lineup. I think this is fire. I think it absolutely is going to dominate Pro-Am, and this build right here is glitchy, man. So 2.05 on the height, we have 85 kilograms for the weight, and then 2.31 for the wingspan. It's just literally as simple as this. You go to 2.05, minimize the weight, maximize the wingspan. Simple, just like that. And this is what I'm going to recommend for both builds. So at the 3 and the 4 spot, I'm recommending you probably want 92 driving dunk. Is going to give you the contact dunks, the elite ones, and that's super fire as well. 80 driving layup is very convenient for the layup packages. Just in general, 15 finishing is going to be pretty nice to have on that lockdown. 70 pass accuracy is the only thing to scoff at on this build, and I don't even think that's that bad. Standing dunk, if you ask me, is not necessary for being that corner guy on offense. And again, for fast break, you're just only doing driving dunks anyway. You're going to be able to actually utilize that right stick as well for the contact dunks too. That's big time. And then on top of that, we have 80 mid-range for the Hall of Fame sniper, 77 three-pointer, still gives you silver catch and shoot, silver corner specialist. I mean, the list goes on and on with everything on this build. 75 ball handle gives you some solid dribble packages. 70 speed with ball gives you silver quick first step. We have 90 perimeter defense and 90 steal. 90 steal gets you the Hall of Fame interceptor and stops you from getting stunned on every reach-in attempt or just passing that attempt. It's the best you could possibly do if you ask me. 95 block is crazy for this build too. And then even at that, if you make a minimum weight 6'9" build in just the regular system, you end up with only 85 defensive rebound. This build right here, for whatever reason, super glitchy as it is, gets 92 defensive rebound. Actually, on top of that too, if you wanted to max it, it actually goes to 94. And then, I mean, man, the list goes on and on with how glitchy this stuff goes. If you really wanted to, you can max out the weight to the point where it gets 99 defensive rebound, even at the 6'9" spot. That is insane, bro. It really is crazy. And I think your interior defense might be able to go high enough for the gold brick wall, but I don't know if it's really necessary. I don't think this build really fits that play style of being the pick and roller. Either way though, 79 speed at the 6'9", 78 acceleration, 84 vertical, and 96 stamina. Again, the only thing to scoff at with this build is going to be standing dunk, maybe some pass accuracy. But either way, it's ridiculous how good this is, if you ask me. So it ends up getting slash take, lock, rim, and glass. I would not really touch the slash take if you ask me, unless you're just out on the fast break a ton and getting a ton of free dunks. Because what you could do, if that's the case, you could put slash take in the secondary slot. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so you can get enhanced jump shot contest quicker. And in my opinion too, running enhanced jump shot contest is definitely going to be the move if you're not guarding ball, because that's going to allow you as the hedge defender to either get better jump shot contest, or on top of that, for the off ball guys, you can bait a little bit harder. You don't have to be so glue tight on them or anything like that. Or just on top of that too, I mean, if you have lock take popped and you're regularly in the corner, you should definitely like talk with your team a little bit about moving to the hedge spot if you have your lock take popped, and you can just swap roles with between the 3 and the 4. Simple, just like that. So anyway, I don't think finishing moves or any slash take is really necessary if you ask me. I would definitely just run double enhanced jump shot contest and just call it a day. But if you do want to get your takeover faster and you are dunking a lot, I would definitely understand if you wanted to do so. Also, just to clarify, Tyreek was using this build in the wager. We haven't shown that on the YouTube on anything but the wager because it's the brand new build. Like, this literally just was discovered like 5 days ago. So we grinded out the build and then boom, it was like a 95 overall. We used it in the wager. our plan is to move Tonic to this build as well instead of the 7'3" shooting build that he has, which is this one right here. He was shooting the lights out though with only gold sniper and 73 3-pointer. I gotta say, shout out to Tonic, man. I'm gonna leave all my teammates links in the description of anything that I can showcase. I don't know if it's just their Twitch or if it's like even just has to be their Twitter, because like I don't even think AK be streaming on Twitch very often. Tyreek does stream on Twitch sometimes, but not very often either. Kitchen doesn't upload on YouTube very often, and then Tonic is the only one that's actually consistent with anything to do with content. So again, I will plug whatever I can in the description of this video for all my teammates, but either way, again, shout out to Tonic for shooting the lights out on that 7'3", man. But first and foremost, I'm going to showcase my 7'3". So this is the true inside 7'3" that pairs with the 5'9" guard really well. It's going to be 7'3", 237 on the weight for the Hall of Fame rebound chaser, and then 8'1" wingspan to max out all of that, because again, we just don't even care about shooting anyway on this. So this is going to be 99 close shot, 99 standing dunk. We have 71 driving dunk. It doesn't give us the silver limitless takeoff, but honestly, this is perfectly fine if you ask me for any terms of like driving dunks or anything like that. 51 driving layup, doesn't really matter if you ask me, but it does kind of affect the way that you go about pick and roll finishing when you don't really want to go for contested ones if people are down there, whereas if you just wait a little bit, boom, now it turns into your close shot and you have 99. It's really hard to miss that. And then we have 82 free throw, 85 pass accuracy. We have the interior defense at 96. We get the Hall of Fame brick wall off having 95. I just upgraded to 96 because it gives you the 40 right here. And then we max out the perimeter defense at 52 and the steal rating at 60. This is just enough to get silver interceptor. I don't think the perimeter defense rating is a problem either. I mean, you're ideally just playing corner on defense with this build, and you're sort of playing a zone defense. You're kind of playing 3-2, but it's not really 3-2. You're just playing the corner and dropping for rebounds or wherever the team wants you to rotate from. Rotations are very big in Pro-Am. I understand not all of you guys play with full squads like that, and it's probably a minority in terms of anybody who's just watching this video, but I will upload a rec video of all the best positions for that if you guys want to see it. I'm going to give more insight in terms of builds that can play with randoms, and it's more understandable and willing to be able to play with randoms rather than this one right here, which is kind of a tight-knit squad that all kind of revolves around each other. So if you guys want to see the rec build, comment rec in the comments right now if you do want to see that and you made it to this point in the video and you 100% do want to see the rec builds and what you think would be best 1 through 5. I will 100% show you guys that. Now, we have 97 block rating. This gives you the Hall of Fame rim protector and again, just what we need to get the 40 defensive badge points. I have 99 on the offensive rebound rating because you're going to be, it doesn't even matter. I mean, it's literally just between the two of them, right? But what I was going to say is I wanted offensive rebound rating more than defensive rebound because this right here is a little bit more important if you ask me. You're going to be the true inside, so you're always around the hoop. You're always sitting below the block, whether it be for finishing or anything like that. And sometimes if you run this thing that we call a two-man game where you set screens with the guard, aka the 6'5", instead of the big man, what you can do with the big man is you can just go down to the paint, fish for the rebounds, and just go crazy on that stuff. And it really takes a lot of things out of the team's like repertoire in terms of what they can do on defense against you. And I think it's a really nasty set, to be honest with you guys. But anyway, again, 99 and 98 on the rebound ratings. Max out everything to do with physical, 61 speed, 58 acceleration, 67 strength, 65 vertical, and then 97 stamina. It does only get 2 takeover options though. It's going to be glass and rim. I just pretty much run these 2 takeovers at all times. I will say though, box out wall is pretty solid. If you ever wanted to run double glass take, this is what you could do instead. You could run see the future primary and then box out wall secondary, or even flip it however you want. I will say though, running stuff blocks, if you're playing the corner rather than hedge defense, this is nasty because you can drop for those blocks, and with Hall of Fame rim protector and stuff blocks as a secondary rim, you get your takeover really quick. You're gonna be able to run like glass take consistently, like super often. All right, so I would have shown Tonic's build next of the 7'3" with the max wingspan that can still shoot the ball, but in my opinion, the 7'2" right here is better at playing that role of what he had. He's just really good with timing his jump shot, and he just doesn't miss that 7'3". It's crazy, but I will say if you do want to shoot with the tall big, this is going to be the best option for you. 7'2", you can go down 1 tick on the wingspan. It's going to allow you to get 80 mid range. You want that 80 mid really, really bad for that Hall of Fame sniper. And on top of that too, it gives you a 75 3-pointer instead of the 73 that Tonic has. So just understand that. We do have to go up on the weight a little bit though to compensate for this, because with us going down on the wingspan, it made it so it's harder to get that defensive rebound to 99 that we want for the Hall of Fame rebound chaser. And then with that, we have to go up on the weight, like I said. So simple as that. It makes us a little bit slower than we would have been normally. I think you can get 64 speed with this build if you just go minimum with it. Also, I know that's not true, because if you go minimum weight on a 7'2", you probably get like 66 speed or something like that. What I meant is if you go as low as possible to get the 99 defensive rebound. So anyway, we end up with a pretty well-rounded build, but it's also suffering in a lot of attributes because of the fact that we have to have shooting. So we don't have 99 close shot, we have 90 instead. We don't have 99 standing dunk, we have 85 instead. 70 driving dunk, it's gonna allow us to at least get the quick drops off 1, which we definitely want as well. If you want to go to 65 instead, it definitely makes sense if you wanted that, but we're not even touching the driving layup. It's just forced to go to this point. Post control, I want this to be at least doable. I do not want to be in a situation where I'm holding LT and anybody who just taps X is going to be able to pop that thing loose. I don't want that at all. 85 pass accuracy is very convenient for the sake of the Hall of Fame break starter, bullet passer, all types of stuff like that. You can still carry the silver floor general on you. If you want to go to 88 for gold floor, I understand that, but honestly, you're the one that probably needs a little bit of floor general help for yourself. You have the lowest 3-point rating on the team most likely, and you definitely want some help with that. Now for the defensive stuff, the only thing that's really considerably lower than the 7'3" would be is for the offensive rebound. But this is more so for the sake of you being a popper. You're going to be outside the paint a little bit more often than a true 7'3" or 7'2" would. So it makes a little bit more sense for you to end up with lower offensive rebound. And it's one of the cuts that you're going to have to make on this build to actually make it come to fruition. So with this, we have still the 97 block rating for the Hall of Fame rim protector. We have 63 steal rating instead of 60. Not really that big of a difference if you ask me, but either way, still gets a silver interceptor. And then boom, just like that. Still decent perimeter defense, 99 defensive rebound. That's all you're going to really need to be doing in the first place too. And 85 is probably good enough for the role that you would play. Again, I do encourage though, if you're going to be making an outside big, that you actually utilize it. I hate these dudes who come out here with like 7'2" poppers and then they literally shoot 1-3 every 4 games. Like, bro, don't make the build if you're not going to shoot the ball. It doesn't make any sense, or at least not pop. I mean, that's just crazy talk if you ask me. So anyway, other than that, this does still only get 2 takeover options, going to be glass and rim. I ended up actually putting See the Future on this, but I would recommend to just run double rim take. It doesn't make a lot of sense to run glass take if you ask me, if you're never going to linger around the O boards, because with this right here, like I said, you're going to be popping a lot. So with that, you could just run the double stuff blocks, come out the corner, rotate like crazy, go for crazy chase down blocks. I think that'd be fire. But anyway, that is all for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And like always, let's try this one to 1,000 likes. Again, if you guys made it to this point in the video, put Pro-Am in the comments, show support you made all the way through. But also, like I said earlier, if you want to see the rec builds, if you want to see me put together some rec builds for the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or whatever the case may be, feel free to let me know if you want to see that. I will say though, these 2 builds are definitely going to be in there. I 100% guarantee you they are going to be in there. It's all-purpose build. I mean, this could really play any position that you want it to be honest with you. And for the free flowing, like no role style of rec, where it feels like you kind of have to just blend in with other players like unconditionally, and you don't really have a lot of choice in how you have to blend in with players. So I will say this build right here is really, really good. It's probably gonna be one of the best rec builds in the game in terms of just the versatility that it has. It can still handle the ball pretty well. It's really good on the fast breaks. It's still really good at shooting. It still has amazing defense at all levels of the court. I mean, this build is great for rec. It's 100% probably the best if you ask me. But anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And like I said, if you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And like always, try to 1,000 likes. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.